Paul's been working with us for a couple of months now, and share with us what your business is, introduce yourself, and what has the experience been like working with us and getting on podcasts?
Well, I've been booked on several a lot more quickly than I expected. I didn't know that it would happen that quickly. And actually, I just had a call with a doctor who reached out to me. I haven't even been on any medical podcasts through my website, which I updated per your instructions. And he said he found me on some video, and I'm thinking it might have been one of the podcasts, but he couldn't remember which one. So I'll have to report back to you on that. But the experience has been good. I had a one sheet before, but I think it was properly updated. It forced me to rethink my website. And if there's going to be more eyes on my site, I need to think about what message my website is giving off and how easy it is to get in touch with me. I mean, that sounds basic, but so many people have a website that really isn't conducive to the right messaging. And I think it really forced me to hone in on what the right messaging was for my website. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate all the calls and the ability to meet the other Interview Connections clients and the ability to just get practice and being interviewed, because my service and what I do, I'm a forensic 401k consultant, and that's a very unique service in that I focus on uncovering what I describe as the excessive and unnecessary fees, conflicts of interest, and sometimes even outright fraud in the 401k plan industry. It's not easy getting my voice out and my message out to a mass audience. And there's many people I wanted to know about me, but probably just didn't know who I was. And I really believe that podcasting is the best way to do it, especially because of the video content that you'll get. And the cost of doing videos, if you were to try to pay for videos separately, I think would probably be a lot more expensive. Not to mention you're getting exposure to all these different audiences. And again, not the biggest podcasts those aren't necessarily the best ones, but sometimes niche podcasts that have really dedicated, engaged listeners that might be more conducive to being really interested in your services. Because even though it's not a huge number of people that are listening, but it's people who are deeply interested in the content. And I think that's something to really keep in mind. So anyway,
Yeah,
hope that wasn't
I
too.
that was perfect, Paul. And I'll just kind of emphasize what Paul was talking about with the website, because when you work with us, when you join our program, we're getting you on podcasts. It's done for you service. And you're getting access to really excellent trainings and coaching and support. So we have this bonus training. One of the stories that Margie shared in session one, I believe, is that I was interviewed on a podcast. This guy's name is Jeffro, the Digital Dominance Podcast. And in the green room chat, this all connects together. It's just one big domino of like podcast guesting magic. So I'm on this podcast as a guest, and in the green room chat, I'm asking the host, Jeffro, like, tell me about your business. What do you do? And he goes, I help build high converting websites for thought leaders. I'm like, well, that's perfect, because I have a lot of clients who are thought leaders who want high converting websites. And I said, would you want to do a private training for Interview Connections clients? And he's like, yeah, that sounds great. And so he came in and did a live website audit call. And then Jeffro did this rapid fire like website audit where he gave them direct feedback on messaging and where the buttons are on the website in ways that helped them increase their conversion, so that when people land on your website, they actually convert. And so Paul and I continue that conversation. I say, let's get your book a call link right at the top of the fold in the middle where the eyes are going. So when you work with us, you're signing up and investing and getting booked, but you're getting like website training and marketing and messaging. There's so many other things, because if you're going to be successful on podcasts, you have to have a website that converts. So we're not going to let you go out there with a website that's not converting. Like, we're going to guide you to the right training and the right resources to help you be successful. So I don't know, Paul, if there anything else you want to add there about that?
Well, it sounds like it helped if someone reached out to me and was book a call with me. And yeah, just to reiterate, I
Mm.
don't necessarily view my website the way others do. Sometimes you get caught in the details, but when someone not familiar with it gives you a critique and says, hey, it might be easier if you set it up this way, I accept it, because I don't always think of how someone else is going to view my website.
Yeah. And Paul also has a topic and an area of expertise that's a little it's very niche, forensic accountant, 401k, like it's a little bit, it's for a very specific audience, and our team has really been able to comprehend that and find these specific shows. I think you were just sharing with me recently how we've gotten you on some shows speaking to attorneys. That was a market you wanted to get in front of that hadn't thought to tell us, but we already picked up on that. So is there anything else you want to add about the types of podcasts that our team has found for you?
Yes, it's been a wide variety. One was actually a pretty big one. I'm not against large podcasts that's had some really prominent guests, some of which I'm familiar with and have watched some of their videos. Some are for entrepreneurs, one of which was for practices, managing partners of law firms, because there's a lot of topics like mine that are conducive to law firms. So that's been very helpful. And I also want to add that just to be a good guest, and that's a good way to instill the mindset of what can I do to be a good guest, not just promoting the podcast before and after, but something else I want to add is thinking about other guests that they might want to have, because I have a large network, and that helps me build my network by potentially introducing, and I've already done that once, to some of the people I know, to podcast hosts that could be really effective guests on their shows.
I love that. That's such a great tip and a great idea, because when that host interviews that guest, they're going to remember you. And so that's a great way to build your network and really deepen your relationship, nurture your relationship with the host. So everyone write that down in your workbook.
Yep.
That's such a great tip.
I'll add one other quick thing.
Yes.
I'm going to be going to Miami in a few months. One of the podcast hosts has a podcast. She's in Miami. And I'm hosting a dinner for entrepreneurs, because I host events in my spare time. This woman is an entrepreneur, interviews entrepreneurs, and this will be a great way to help her build her audience and her list of guests, as well as help me build my network.
That's incredible. That is amazing. I love that. So where can everyone find you, Paul, if they're interested in following along your podcast casting journey or reaching out to learn more about your services?
Just my name, paulsippil.com, Sippil.